All right, hey everyone, welcome to Gundam Explained. For today's video, we're actually going to dive into Milpo Sclint. And actually, we're going to get more info and even how to pronounce it by Nick. Mecha-Nick the Mechanic on Twitter and YouTube, and I'll have links in the description. But hey, Nick, what's up?
Hey, Adam.
No, I gotta say, this whole Milpo thing just came out of nowhere. Really, I'm on Gundam Twitter every once in a while, and this came up. Now, the reason we're talking is because I made the video and I was talking about, hey, look at this funny meme. What is this character? But you actually have some background information on this character. Tell me, how do you pronounce his name?
Milpo Sclint.
Schlint. So would that be kind of like German, maybe?
That would be my guess. I mean, because it also fits in, you know, Amuro, or not Amuro. It's weird enough and out there that it sounds like it could be perfectly fit into Gundam canon, while it's different enough that it stands out.
Yeah, and have you heard that, like, Tomino purposely made those names weird on purpose just to see if they would be rejected, but they always just accepted them?
I've heard of something like that, but I've also heard, you know, that Char is based off an actual musician.
That's right.
That went by a similar name.
I did hear that.
Same with Amuro, you know. And I remember seeing that, they even had one of the guys who worked on Lupin the Third Part 1 on helping out with in-between animation cells. So there's an episode in, I think, episode 29, I want to say. I don't know, but there's a band, and if you stop and look closely, you can tell that some of the band members are actually Lupin and the crew.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch that then. That's actually some neat. That's a neat Easter egg. And see, yeah, that's the thing with this. Even with Milpo, seems to be an Easter egg because, so you know, again, after you were posting on Twitter, you have a lot of good information on there. You were actually talking about it being a real character, and I guess was Milpo.
So it is and it isn't.
Okay, go on.
So this whole started. I don't want to even say a week ago. Not even a full 7 days.
Right.
Milpo didn't exist before then.
Oh.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
What happened is UC Gundam got a friend through, I don't know if he knows him in real life or through Discord or whatever, but he got him to watch 0079 as like his first one. Okay. And then what UC did, and this is his words, not mine, he gaslit his friend into believing that there is a character within the Gundam community called Milpo Sclint.
Wow. And then I guess he started targeting a specific character that had been drawn and kind of showed up.
So what he did is he found an unnamed member of the White Base crew that had, you know, a couple, you know, off-frame cells here and, you know, and he used that as the basis. Then to really sell the idea, he went onto Twitter and said, hey guys, I need your help. I need you to post and reply and whatnot about Milpo in order to, so I can really convince that this guy is a, you know, yeah, he's an unnamed character, but he's a fan favorite kind of, fandom named him, but he's not official, you know. Trying to just sell the joke. So
that's what's kind of cool though, because really then it's an unnamed character, but it's a real character that exists, and I guess really there's nothing wrong. In fact, that it seems like an awesome initiative to name something And okay, so let's go back to that name, because this Milpo name then wasn't a name made up by the Sunrise or anyone making Gundam. This is made up by UC Gundam, which is YOUSEE Gundam on Twitter. I'll link below. So you know what this reminds me of, real quick before we dive in more, is if you're familiar with Star Wars. I don't know if you're familiar with Star Wars too much. Somewhat. So there's this in Return of the Jedi on the Battle of Endor. There is this gray beard character, rebel soldier, and fans just said, "Oh, that's Rex," which is a clone that ends up, as the clones age to a certain point, he would look that way at that time with the beard. And then I guess Dave Filoni just kind of went with it and said, "Yeah, sure, that's him." And so it's almost like unofficial, but it could be official. And like I almost see this the same way.
This is. I don't know how familiar UC is with Star Wars, but this is definitely of that same mindset.
Okay, that's awesome. And so then with Milpo, from what I saw when I was looking at the Twitter, there's this like animation cell when it shows all the characters of White Base, and I guess maybe the intro doesn't show him, but some other promotional.
No. So not even the promote. No.
Okay.
So there's two fronts that UC started to attack this at after he got initial. He initially started gaslighting his friend and showing him our tweets. Well, I should say the Gundam communities.
Yeah.
The first is he called on us to help make this a real thing and meme it into existence because mimetic magic is real.
Yep. And so that's where all those memes came from and everything that was being posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
I made a couple of them.
Okay.
Some other people made some.
My favorite one was when Bright Noah was in his office during Unicorn.
And the Easter egg. Oh, yeah. That was great.
So where does Milpo then actually show up officially?
Probably some in-frame or in-between frame cells, in the background. I have no idea what episodes exactly he's seen in, but just like background character of such and such.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in the one picture of all the guys with Matilda. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. So I guess then he would have then not. He probably wasn't at. I'm sorry. Is that side 7? Or wherever Amuro was.
He might have been
at White Base.
He might have been at
okay, might have been. But I guess he wasn't. If we're gonna make lore for him, he probably just wasn't on White Base when they left the colony initially when they were escaping, and then maybe he met up with them with Matilda.
Maybe he was on the White Base and worked in the engine room.
Well, yeah, that's another question, and I actually don't know the answer to this. Maybe you don't. Were there other people working on White Base, and they just weren't, I guess, focused on in UC or in 0079?
I mean, I'd like to think so, because you did see at least a good, half a dozen, people working on the gun tank the gun cannon and Gundam, when they're in the hangar bay between missions and whatnot. So
that's a good point.
And of course, you also had at least, the one chef guy and, you had a doctor. So
yeah,
I'd like to think that the White Base did have at least an initial crew of some kind.
Yeah.
It just was supplemented by civilians such as Kai, a
bunch of the other characters because a lot of them, and that's what's interesting, a lot of them were brought in because they were really going into the bunker at the beginning for safety, and it was just, hey, get aboard the white base ship just to
White base.
yeah. And
so for all we know, there could be an off-model character that looks like Milpo that was on the white base, either as a civilian or as beforehand.
Yeah, and just like with Kai and Sayla, they got uniforms when they eventually, when they were white base, and it could have been the same with Milpo. So yeah, that's and then it depended on where they traveled as they were in space and then came down to Earth and whatnot. And maybe when they met up with Matilda in that group, maybe he did take off and he has his own adventure that could be, something, or maybe he was at the Battle of Baoku, and who knows what really happened. Because I like how, for instance, with Stardust Memory, they have like this story of how Gato was at a Baoku and that whole thing, and it's like, oh, there's so many things that a side story from Milpo. I mean, that could exist.
Yeah, no, let's see, come on. I know there's a picture out.
Yeah, I guess that one picture of him is what's being used in a lot of the memes, pretty much. Even showing the original Gundam artist holding up a sketchbook, I'm assuming that was photoshopped to show Milpo.
Yeah. So, from one of the things that I've as I was saying, one thing he did was get people to make memes. Another thing I noticed is that he either had someone commission an artist or something, but there's an artist on Twitter, goes by the name of Mad Angler.
Oh, yeah.
And they specifically focus on on drawing and recreating in the 1980s style.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know Mad Angler. Okay, that's pretty. I mean, I know of the Twitter, so that's a pretty cool connection there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So all these Gundam Twitter people are kind of close. Then that's what I think makes the community work. Well, any other cool information about Milpo, or do you think we covered that?
Yeah, I'm dropping something in the Discord chat to send to you.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put that on the screen. So, what is? I guess that's artwork that Matt Angler did.
So from the look of it, he found a sketch or something, and then ran it through computer programs until it showed up to figure out the drawing.
Wow. That's pretty good. Yeah. Man, people went all out just to just to trick this dude about Milpo.
Well, it started as tricking the guy, but then I believe that through meme magic, it generally became an actual thing.
I like it. So I'm all on board with making this a real character. I mean, obviously it was drawn, so it exists. And so we've got him a name now, and the name fits with Gundam. And now it's really about the fan fiction. Let's see if people can come up with some cool Milpo fan fiction, if they haven't already.
Oh. Well, apparently he's already he joined the Titans, but then defected with a stolen boondock, and then after that, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I like the idea of joining the Titans because it seems like Titans would be awesome, and then you realize they're baddies, and then
I think a lot of people who joined the Titans at first thought it was to be good, you know.
Yeah.
But then it just crumbled.
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, sure, the Titans have cool designs and all, but I think if anybody, you want to be with the AUG.
Yeah. Yeah, or wasn't there the specific unit? Was it Londo Bell, or am I thinking too far ahead?
Well, AUG had the Rick Diaz, the Deja, Hyakushiki, the Gundam Mark II, then as well as the Zeta, and then the Double Zeta and the Mesa. I think I'm probably completely off the mark.
Methus,
the yellow one that the
Methus? That Fa Yuri,
the one that
piloted, yeah,
Methus,
that's
the Methus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's so I kind of like where this is going with Milpo. So hey, I'm all aboard with Milpo.
Oh yeah.
And well, yeah, hey, thanks for being on Gundam Explained, Nick. And if you guys haven't checked out his Twitter, I'll have the link below. And yeah, thanks for watching.